Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being with us here again today. Well, I've got another quick video for you here today, and this one comes directly from our user questions, and I've had a lot of different people ask to render an opinion on keeping a truck gun. Now, if you don't know what a truck gun is, basically it's a dedicated firearm that you leave in the truck or car or whatever. You know, maybe something extra that you got a good deal on that you don't care about, whatever, but it stays in the vehicle. Is this being well prepared, or is this irresponsible? Well, I'm going to tell you what I think in just a minute. Alright, once again, welcome back. Thanks so much for being with us today. If this is your first time coming to the channel, or if you've been watching our videos and just haven't had a chance to do so, and you like our content, please consider subscribing. You can locate that subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner of your computer screen, or if you're on a mobile device, you can scroll down below the video and you can hit the subscribe button that way. It's a simple thing that helps out a whole lot, and we really appreciate it. So, truck guns. Different people will give you different answers on what kind of qualifies as a truck gun to them. You know, for me, I have a lot of guns that I have more than one of, or something I got a good deal on. You know, like I remember going out and buying my first Glock 19, and the very first one I ever owned, I've probably shot, 10,000 rounds through it. Very, very, very well broke-in firearm. And, you pick up deals along the way. So I managed to end up with more than one Glock 19. So I have one that's dedicated, that has its own holster that's part of my hunting gear. That's a sidearm that goes with me, out in the woods, that type of thing. Well, there are people who kind of do the same thing, but they do it for their vehicle. They say, you know what, I want to make sure I've got something in the vehicle at all times to keep me safe. And, maybe it would be something like this. Maybe it would be, maybe they've got several really nice 1911s, competition style. And maybe they have some older guns, maybe a basic Colt like this that doesn't mean quite as much to them, so they might keep something like that in the vehicle. Well, you got to remember something. No matter how you answer this question, there's always a liability behind it. So some people, they want the comfort of knowing they've got a handgun that they can just go to immediately if something happens, rather than having it on them. But if you've got a handgun in your vehicle, well, obviously, there's always a chance that that handgun can be stolen. If somebody breaks into your vehicle, obviously, especially if somebody sees you carrying a gun, these thieves, the way they operate and the way they think, a lot of times they'll watch people, they'll kind of get people's routines down, see what they do. And if somebody sees, that you look like you might be carrying a gun, or if you do a lot of advertising, wear a lot of gun gear, or what's worse, one of the very worst things you can do, and this is along the same lines, is to put a lot of gun advertising on your vehicle. Like, for example, I've got range bag, and I've got like Yetis and stuff that I take with me to the range that, I've got my gun stickers on those, stuff like this, because I like my HKs and different stuff like that. So, if I have something like that in my range bag, that's one thing. But if you got stickers like that on the back of your vehicle, like on the back window, I'm not saying it's a guaranteed problem, but you're kind of advertising that, there might be a gun in this car. So you have to be very careful if you decide to do that, because that firearm, it belongs to you, but if that firearm is stolen and something happens, it can get very complicated. So you have to think about, how you're going to handle that situation. Now, I know some people that have taken the extra step of actually having a safe installed in their vehicle, a actual metal safe that is welded to the floorboard, that, has a locking mechanism. It is as secure of a firearm safe as something that you would have in your home. Now, if you have something like that, where you can positively secure the firearm where it can't possibly be taken without going through the same measures some would have to take it out of any other safe, that might be a different story. But if you're talking about just one of these, magnet mounts where the firearm is just under the dash, or if you're talking about just slipping it, into an Uncle Mike's or something and then tucking it behind the seat, these are all, I'm just going to say it, these are all bad ideas. You might go your entire life and never have anything happen, but it only takes one time of somebody breaking into your car and finding that firearm for it to, get stolen. All right, so bottom line, is it a good idea or a bad idea? Well, once again, you get a lot of different answers on this, but for me, it's pretty clear. Now, just a little side note, you definitely want to check the laws that govern carrying a firearm on your person where you live, because they do vary. So you need to make sure that whatever you decide to do is in line with local laws. Now, getting a concealed carry permit where I live is not that bad. We are a shall issue state and a pretty firearm friendly state. So it's not a big deal to have a concealed carry permit. For me, if you're going to carry a firearm on you and you're going to have a firearm in your vehicle, well, I'm still going to have that firearm on me. I'm not going to have it loose anywhere in the vehicle. If I get into the car, well, I'm going to have a holster, obviously, that I'm going to be holding the firearm in. When I get in the car, that's still where it's going to be. Now, I've heard people make different arguments about whether, well, if I'm in my car and it's in the holster, I can't get to it fast enough and all these different kinds of things. Well, once again, you have to make your own decision about what makes sense for you. But for me, the position that I carry my firearm in, I can still get to it very rapidly while I'm in a car with a seatbelt on. I think at the very most, I might have to just unhook my seatbelt, which takes just a moment. But I think I could probably get it out without doing that with, a little practice. In any case, I feel better about having my firearm secured on me than having it in the vehicle. Even if it's secured in the vehicle, I just don't like to be without it. Now, once again, if you do have it in the vehicle and you have some way to actually secure it with a safe or something like that, well, that might be a good option for you. But I think the idea of having a gun in your vehicle that is not secured is a bad idea. I don't care if it's a magnet mount, if it's under the seat. I don't care where you have it, where you think it might be hidden. I just think it's a bad idea. And, it only takes one gun getting stolen for someone to realize that that's a bad idea as well. But once again, that's just my opinion. So do what you think is right, but you got to remember you're responsible for your firearm, and a good firearm owner, a responsible firearm owner, is always going to secure their weapon. And to me, the best way to do that's on the body. So anyway, that's that. That's my opinion. So truck guns, not a fan. Keep the gun on you. Okay. Well, that's going to do it for today. Once again, we appreciate you watching as always. We'll be back very soon with another video. So until that time, as always, everybody be careful and have a great day. Thank you.